Oh, and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 497. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only at Pete Video.
I really liked the singing there, Fix. Really enjoyed that.
You're welcome. You don't get it often on this podcast, but I am a musician. I do have a song with Pete on it. No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
Now you're not getting introduced on the podcast. Next for that. And of course, we have the one and only Too Fresh Crash.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Not sure how I feel about this energy, but okay, we're going to allow it. And Despawn's here.
Hello. So I also used to be a musician.
You've got to say it's good when it's good, and it was good.
Thank you.
Boys, how are we all? I feel like I only saw you literally mere days ago, and I still want to rip Crash's eyes out of his sockets.
Wow.
Valid.
Wow.
I don't know why.
I wonder.
I'm great.
How's everyone feeling after the 4-hour Game of the Year discussion? How do we all feel?
Better after I edited it and it was up.
Fair.
But yeah, it was good.
I kind of got my way for a lot of it. Shadow of the Erdtree's in there, which I'm not thrilled about. Mm-hmm. But Electro ended up being pretty high for us. I was pretty happy with how it ended up.
Look, usually my eyesight and criticism is firmly on Crash. I would say that's fair, right? Like, I am very, usually it is firmly on Crash. It doesn't finish video games. I learned something during that podcast that I wasn't aware of.
Huh.
Matt, do you even play video games?
Wow.
Because it seems like every time we spoke about a video, don't get me wrong, I will say if you look at your personal list, vastly different from what my personal list would be.
Sure.
So you clearly do play video games. I guess let me rephrase the question. Do you play popular video games?
Interesting. It's it's an interesting discussion because the top 3, I think, for all you guys were the big JRPGs for that year, right? And it was a big year for good JRPGs, and we know I ain't the JRPG guy.
Which is fair.
And that's where it comes down, really. Like that top 3, metaphor, Final Fantasy, Infinite Wealth. I basically didn't talk for the last hour of the podcast.
No,
that'll be very appealing for
No, that's not true. Because we were talking about Prince of Persia, but you hadn't played that either.
I know, and that is a massive, and I said it during it, right? That is probably the biggest miss for me last year.
Yeah, I think it was.
But as a great man once said, old game is old.
Yeah, that guy's amazing. Whoever said that, what a guy.
Despawn said it.
I've said that a few times, yeah.
Yeah, Despawn has said it, yeah.
Despawn, I can't not, if I'm going to point my fingers at Matt,
That's fine.
I have to point my fingers at you.
I'm terrible at making lists. We get it. I know.
What the
I forgot so many games.
I came off the podcast and said to Haley, I was like, I'm not sure. I think Despawn had a stroke before the podcast.
Yeah, I definitely did.
He forgot everything.
The thing is, you know what's even worse? I remembered another game after. Wouldn't have made the top 10, but another game that I played last year. What? I think we both did. Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, it's not a top 10 game though, is it?
No.
Oh shit, should it have been a top 10 game for Fix?
It would have been a top 10 game for Fix, yeah. Thinking about it, yeah.
Oh no.
Wow. You know what, Fix? I think you got to roll that criticism of Despawn back right now live.
No, because you also have to. Yes, I am willing to. Yeah. Do you know what F me? So the way I did my list, again, we'll get onto some other stuff, but whatever. The way I did my list was I went onto Steam and I always search by newest games, right? Like on my list. So I went on there, looked at games, like, okay, cool. Then I did it for every platform. I've loaded up my Xbox, loaded up my PlayStation, loaded up EA Play. What did I forget to load up?
Ubisoft Connect.
Ubisoft Connect. And that's why. That's the entire reason why it wasn't on my top 10. Because I just forgot to load off Ubisoft Connect. Because I already had Prince of Persia on Steam.
That makes sense.
Right, and Crash, you're right. Star Wars Outlaws. No, mate. No,
what was your number 10 game?
That's literally
what your number 10 game got originally knocked off.
Alan Wake 2 DLC was Fix's 10 game.
Yeah.
And then COD Black Ops 6.
No, Call of Duty would have got knocked off the list.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, because I beat Star Wars Outlaws, so
Yeah, so fix
Star Wars
sucks at
Outlaws,
making
I'm
lists as
sorry.
well.
Yeah, I suck. I
Welcome to the club, my friend.
You're right.
Welcome to the
You're
club.
right. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry.
what is the learning here? How do we make this better for next year so that we don't forget these games?
Don't play games on other platforms and only play on Xbox.
Yeah, I'll do it.
A nice list, and remember to update it.
Yeah.
What I would say is every time you find a game that you like instantly, you put it on a top 10 list, and then you keep updating it throughout the year. That's what I would say would be the best thing to do.
So
I want to do that this year.
I'm gonna say, so not open a notes app the day before and just start trying to remember all the games you played.
No.
Okay.
There is.
Good to know the future.
There is #not sponsored an app that does this, right?
Yeah, GG, I think GG.load or something like that one.
And you kind of just log everything you play, and you give it
IGN has it as well.
score.
Not sponsored, but IGN does it as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to endeavor to do that this year, and almost certainly fail, but I'm going to try.
I don't know if you will. If we keep on top of you, I think you'll be all right.
I'd love for you to stay on top of me.
I'll stay on top of you anytime, babe. Well, anyway, if you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/MyXboxandMe and all podcast services. Expect a rebrand very, very soon. And it is not bullshit this time. It is a real thing that has been made and has been done. And yes, so a rebrand is coming of My Xbox and Me, which will obviously be transitioning to MXAM. Yeah, the whole idea, just to give it to the audience, the whole idea is to be able to cover more things other than just Xbox. The My Xbox and Me podcast, which you are watching right this moment, will not be changing. This will still be the My Xbox and Me podcast. And if we end up doing something else, cool. If we don't, we don't. But it just gives us a little bit more room to wiggle on socials, also on TikTok and Instagram, and obviously the main thing, YouTube. So we already right now we do a PlayStation State of Play reaction. Doesn't really make sense to be on the My Xbox and Me YouTube channel, does it? So now it will, and D-Spawn's done a really great job coming up with something that I really like. So I think you guys are going to enjoy it. We got a lot of content that we got to deliver to you guys from last year. We haven't forgotten. Like I say, the D&D and Me is in the editing bay at the moment, and a few other things that we got to do. We know they are coming. I'm hoping to have it all done first half of the year, to then be able to do another, because we've got the 24-hour stream we want to do anyway. We got to do. So we'll figure out a date for that. And yeah, we haven't forgotten. It's happening. It's hard when you've got 3 men that are very busy and 1 man that lives halfway across the world, you know? So I'm not saying you're not busy, by the way. He's also busy. No, but I meant because the 24-hour thing has been a lot easier and times. Exactly. Yeah. Not that you're not busy. Sorry. But yeah.
Are you busy?
Topic of the show this week, boys. Reviewing Xbox's 2024. I think we're going to get a lot of heat on this. I've got to be honest, because we've got a lot of heat anyway for our opinions on Indiana Jones. But we'll get into that in just a moment. 2024, a year Xbox delivered some games. Are we happy with it? How do we feel about Xbox in 2024? Crash, kick us off. How you feeling?
From a game perspective, personally not super hot on Xbox.
So should I give you the context of what got released from Xbox?
Yes, please.
Sure. You got a little game called Indiana Jones.
Heard of that.
You got a little game called Flight Simulator.
Yep.
You got Hellblade 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Am I missing anything?
Technically, you have Age of Empires 4 retold.
Yeah, so you got Age of Mythology.
Age of Mythology, yeah.
You got Age of Empires as well, I think. I might be wrong.
There might have been some Age of Empires, but I might be wrong about that. That might have been a console release, and it was on PC before.
Matt?
You're forgetting a pretty big one. Call of Duty. This is the first year that Call of Duty is launched under Xbox.
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. You're right.
We can talk about it for sure, and I'm sure the discussion will go into it. when I'm looking personally, when I'm looking at Xbox success, Call of Duty is 100%. Bigger Xbox success for sure. When I'm looking at Xbox's game release success, I don't know if I'm necessarily looking at Call of Duty. No, Call of Duty is going to hit regardless. No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm just saying when I'm looking at the stuff that Call of Duty, like if I'm looking specifically at games that Call of Duty's put out, I'm not looking at or Xbox, not Call of Duty. I'm not looking at Call of Duty because Call of Duty is going to be a banger regardless. I'm not looking at Call of Duty because Call of Duty was in production before Xbox got them. That was going to be the same. I'm looking at like the effect Xbox has had on the games that they were going to put out, like the stuff, the studios they've bought, the things and such as that. Call of Duty next year, 100%, I'm counting it towards Xbox. For sure, we'll see where Xbox goes with marketing and stuff like that, going deeper into it, where it's not just, hey, we're adding it to Game Pass and all this stuff. You 100% have to talk about Call of Duty when we're talking about the overall impact with Xbox, for sure. There's no doubt about that. But when I'm looking at games, I'm looking at Hellblade. Don't really care for it. And even if you include Call of Duty into the conversation for me, it still doesn't change my opinion too much. It gets a little bit better. Don't really care about Hellblade personally. Indiana Jones is good. People say I don't really care about Indiana Jones, so it's hard for me to say like I'm excited for what Xbox did this year in that regard. Flight Sim had troubles on launch and didn't really hit the way the last Flight Sim did, which is always, even if you take out the struggles, it's always hard to compare to something that was as big as Flight Sim when the next thing doesn't do as big, right?
Sure.
So overall, like I don't think they did horrible this year by any means.
Give me a score. Give me a score.
Score. Overall or just games?
No, overall. We're talking about Xbox overall. Because that's it. I'm including Game Pass, I'm including marketing, I'm including new systems, everything. Like Xbox overall.
7.
Leave your microphone alone.
That's higher than I thought you'd be. I think I was thinking like 6 when we were talking then, because I think I agree with you in that, when you look at Xbox's releases, I think everything went a little bit under expectation other than Indiana Jones for me.
The reason I gave it a 7 as opposed to going lower, if I was looking at just games, I would have given it a lower score, probably like a 6. But I think marketing wise this year, Xbox has probably been the best they have been in a while. And that's
I agree. I think the thing that majorly takes it down for me, and why I'm almost verging on 5, is in a year where the industry really suffered, Xbox made some not great moves, specifically in getting rid of Tango, shutting down, studios and stuff like this. And I understand that was more of an industry-wide issue, but Xbox they were not the ones to point to and go, oh, they did it right. They're in the shit with everybody else, really.
Place for Bobs, Tango.
Is that this year? Yeah. I don't know why I thought Tango was end of last year. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably lowers my score to a 6. I completely forgot about that.
I'm wondering now if you're right, and it was. No, I'm sure it was this year. I'm sure it was.
No, you're probably correct.
I'll Google. You guys chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, like those are the things for me that really hurt it. And like, if you were going to give a score to the whole industry, right, you'd probably be on the lower end because of that kind of thing as well, right? Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's what really pulls it down for me. I agree with you that marketing and stuff has been good, specifically towards the latter half of this year, or even I guess the last quarter of 2024, I should say. But yeah, for me, like those kinds of things, and I think like I say, every game release for me probably hitting slightly below expectation, other than Indiana Jones, I think, and Call of Duty, which we're taking out for different.
You don't have to think about it. I took Call of Duty out for myself. That's you guys 100%.
Exceeded
you can count Call of Duty however you want. Yeah.
Also, just quickly, May is when they closed the studios.
There you go.
This year.
I think, it's a hard one. I do agree with you. The industry as a whole obviously was a bad year, right? Overall, it has been a bad couple of years. But yeah, if I had to, I'm probably at 6 as well. 6. I think 6 is probably a fair number for me when it comes to my biggest issue with Xbox at this moment in time is it doesn't excite me in any way, shape, or form. What's coming does, but what had come hadn't. And the problem is, again, I've been doing this now almost 10 years, right? My Xbox and me. I've been the corporate apologist of it's coming. I'm still fucking waiting for it to come, and I chose to swear there on purpose. Like I'm at that point now where I can't keep saying it's coming. You know, like obviously this year's a huge year if everything lands that it's meant to, and if everything lands how it's meant to, Xbox will finally deliver on their promise of what they've been trying to deliver for years to come. But the problem is, I've said that exact sentence multiple times before. So yeah, it's I agree with you though. Like Indiana Jones is a great Indiana Jones game. It doesn't do the thing that I was hoping it would do, which is be more than that. And again, I don't think that's a fair assessment from me because it's trying to be what it is, and it nails that. But that just doesn't help bringing in someone like me who's already not the biggest Bethesda fan overall. Machine games, usually I'm usually a little bit more lenient towards a machine games game, but again, it's not a heavy game. It's a hand-to-hand combat heavy game from what I played, and it just feels clunky. And then, like I said, I'm not a flight sim guy, so that does nothing for me. I'm not an Age of Mythology guy, so that does nothing for me. Stalker 2 came to Game Pass, cool. It was a buggy mess at launch, so people told me not to play it, so I didn't play it. Like, there's just so many things you could say. Like, you could look at Powerworld being the biggest win for Xbox this year. Like, 2024, that was their biggest win. Was a game that they signed to be on Game Pass day one. That's why it gets a 6, probably, for me. It's not because of anything else that they did. They've just signed a great third-party deal to Game Pass.
I will say, if Palworld ends up becoming the norm for Xbox in terms of like who they look to partnership, because this is something that on the Sony side, Sony's been relatively good at looking at what studio to partner with for like these smaller studios to sort of put a little bit more spotlight on them and sort of brand them as PlayStation games, even though they're not PlayStation games. They're made by other studios. If this is like the start of that for Xbox, I think that's a really good sign for Xbox. But again, it's look at the future where Xbox is going to go. It can be amazing, but we've seen it not end up being that, right?
I think Xbox had a good year in that regard. I think like Palworld, and I am aware these are not on the same scale, but like Another Crab's Treasure, Dungeons of Hinterberg, Stalker 2, like they did kind of feel like Xbox games, even though they weren't just on Xbox going into Game Pass day one. And like, I think that's a good start. Like you say, I think Palworld's a good start. I think, but those other ones show that is, I think, the move, and I think they're good at identifying those games and championing those games, even if they're not for everybody.
I disagree with you. I think this year they done what Outlaws, Outsiders, Outriders. Yeah. See, like I could literally sit here and be like this and this and this. They've done this before, but this would be the best. I think this is their best year of spotting something that they're like, that's going to be the next big thing. Let's make it happen. And then being forward thinking. Usually they go with something. In my opinion, it's usually games that look like they're going to foul. They usually then save them and give the company some money for it not to foul. And then Game Pass gets their little boost in player base from people that were excited for said thing. I
think the big argument against that is they have had, in the past, they've had a good eye for it as well. I mean, like Lies of P is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Sure. But also in that exact year, you had Wolong be the bigger focus when I'd argue that Lies of P is the better game.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I would have said that like Lies of P should have been their focus over Wolong. But Wolong 100% had more of a focus from that aspect of Xbox last year.
Then.
Yes,
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the marketing for that was ridiculous. I think, because I'm not going to Scott, I think I kind of want to lean to around a 6 as well. But that's just a personal preference. Like you fix, none of the games really did anything for me this year from Xbox. Like I'm not a strategy sim kind of guy. So Flight Sim and Age of Mythology didn't hit for me. Call of Duty was a nice win for them. I think it just looks good on the books. Like we saw like reports of it basically single-handedly turning around their finances at some points for the gaming division. I think they had the best showcase they've ever had this year.
Yeah, the showcase was very, very good this year.
Yeah, the Summer Showcase was the best one they've had as far as I can remember.
I think I think presentation wise, Xbox was really like exceptional this year in general. Like them presenting themselves past the first start of the year, because the first start of the year is where you had Tango shutting down, you had all the interviews going on, and people questioning everything they said from interview.
You had that dev thing that
Developer Direct.
Yeah, the developer direct was like early on. I think it was like.
Yeah, that was good.
They used it in January, right? Because they did the first one when
you're right. It was
they shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush. And so January, usually end of January.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's like they did the like. Like I said, I don't think we're being too harsh. Like marketing, they did okay. Games wise, for us, that doesn't mean for everyone, but it's our opinions on this podcast. For us, they didn't have anything that blew us away.
Yeah.
And what I will say as well is really quickly is Indiana Jones released in December was awful. They should have released Indiana Jones in January.
Yes, agreed.
This would have been the perfect month for Indiana Jones. A start to the new year. It comes out January. Oh no, where are we this week? Let's say, the 3rd. The 3rd would have been the perfect date for that game to come out. January 3rd, Happy New Year, here's a new game. But it released in December, and I'm not the only... I know old games old is like come a meme between us lot. I'm not the only one who thinks like this. I'm not. Like, people like that fresh start of like, it's a fresh year, I'm going to focus on what's coming forward. And I guess their argument is going to be, well, it's coming out on PlayStation in the new year, so that's where they're expecting to see another big bump in player base. You don't think?
I think one thing, I think they are expecting that, but I think one thing to look at is always when games launch on one console and they end up releasing on the other one at a later date, they don't always do super well.
No, I agree.
Because if you look at like Tomb Raider, I'm just saying that's still not like there's still like
Tomb Raider's
heads or tails
very
being played.
Specific.
No, for sure.
Case, right? It was a sequel to a game that people really loved, and then Xbox went in and was like, "Is money?
Here's all the money."
Is money? Well, take
that. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's launching in summer, so
Spring.
I think it's a ways off Indiana Jones going to PlayStation.
It's July, I think, or something like that, right?
I thought I'd seen June or something.
I thought it was June.
Yeah. So it's a little ways off, but I think what you will capitalize on is people who don't even know an Indiana Jones game exists.
Yes.
Like right now, right? It's those people who are like playing FIFA and playing, COD and on their PlayStation, Fortnite and all that. And all of a sudden they're going to get an ad for Indiana Jones pop up on the store and they might jump in, having seen it as a kid or whatever. I think it's ultimately a good thing.
When is it?
It is officially announced for spring this year.
Oh.
Well, June I asked, didn't I?
No, I could have sworn it was June or July as well.
Yeah, that's
I thought it was one of those
thought.
Months.
But then I also do remember it being quite a
it was like 3 months or something like that. Yeah, you're right.
A small window.
No, everything is saying just spring at the moment.
Okay. Well, whatever, don't matter. Yeah. I think we're all kind of agreed it's at that like 6 level, right? Are we happy to lock in my Xbox and me's review score of 6 for Xbox for 2024?
Yeah, because like you guys are like, the market has been fantastic, but I think they still had issues. Like the big issue was the changes to Game Pass. Like it was a very muddy
I think that
conversation.
was an issue for us. I don't think that was an issue. It's not an issue for other people.
But this is our personal opinion, so this is our...
Even when we had to talk about it, a lot of people in our community had pushback on that.
Yeah.
So if you look at the bigger Xbox side and the people who are already subscribed to Xbox, I don't think that was, because from my standpoint, it's more of a philosophical like decision that they made that I dislike, because it doesn't. A lot of people do have the highest tier of Xbox. They don't
it doesn't
have
affect me.
That was affected. Yeah. So for a lot of people, it doesn't really have like. It's happening behind my back. I don't really care because I'm not affected by the thing. It's the sort of situation with that. So I don't think that's as widespread as we might talk about it on this podcast.
I just for me, it was a very muddying of the waters kind of situation of like, well, it's Game Pass, but it's not quite Game Pass. It's a little bit of Game Pass. You pay more for full Game Pass, or you play Game Pass over there. It's just like, not the great marketing on my side. But like I was saying, I just think, 6 is a valid number for this year. Like I expect, well, for last year, I expect this year to be a lot better.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that later on in the show. I promise. We'll get into it. You've got a hard ass. Shut up. Let's get into what's been in our box this week, boys. Chris, we'll start with you. What have you been playing?
Path of Exile 2. I can't recall if I talked about it on this podcast, but having beaten 2 games recently, I decided to put some time into Path of Exile 2. You know, a little reward for myself.
You rewarded yourself by beating video games like you were forced to, like you had a gun to your head or something. Like, look, what?
The Game of the Year discussions would have gone so poorly for me if I didn't beat those 2 games. For sure, I needed to beat those. Realistically should have beaten Final Fantasy as well, but that wasn't.
You've got to stop getting to the end of games and not beating. It's a terrible habit you have.
I lose interest.
I understand, but for you've got. I understand, but for the podcast and for what we do,
no, you're not incorrect.
You've got to just. If we weren't doing this, and I'm being you a friend, and you cool.
No, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
You've got to do because you don't just get like kind of the end. You get to the end, and then go, nah.
Yeah.
This is wild coming from you, Fix.
What?
Huh?
Oh, Elden Ring. Yeah, that's a good
play Elden Ring.
No, Fix is right. Because even the discussion around like infinite wealth, had I not beaten infinite wealth, my discussion around it would have been drastically different.
Yes.
That ending to the game is very much. And sometimes I do put 80 hours. I put a lot of time into Rebirth, and I didn't finish Rebirth. So even my opinion on Rebirth isn't fully completed. But I'm saying like that goes for like most games. Sometimes I'll put a lot of times in the games, and I won't put it in the right way necessarily, which with Like a Dragon, I just focused story and stopped doing side stuff, which I think was the right call for that game.
Sure. If you say so. I want to hear about Path of Exile, though.
Path of Exile, yeah. I really like it. I think Path of Exile is a lot of fun. I think boss designs are absolutely phenomenal in that game. I think it might be some of my favorite boss designs in general from last year. I don't know if you consider it this year. It's early access game. However you want to consider it, you consider it. I really like it. I think it is. In the time I've spent with it, I already enjoy it exponentially more than Diablo 4 by a very, very large margin. Other than the story, I think the story is kind of dog shit. But beside that, it's fantastic.
Early access, though.
It's early access.
Become good?
Yeah, it's. What was that? Could it become good?
I just think good, right? Surely.
Possibly, but I don't think so. Because the way they tell the story, and this is something they had like a dev diary, and they talked about it, is they want to have the story be in a way that you could go past it. Because like they have seasons where you replay characters. They don't want the story to hinder that sort of player flow where it's like you get in the game and you keep playing and you can skip as much of the story or you can interact with as much of it as you want. So they don't want to force people into that situation. So what they've done, story's taking kind of a backseat in a way. Like if you really want the story, it's there and you can find more bits of story. I just don't care to do that in this game.
So how does this game feed you story? Like, is it
you have dialogue with characters? You have a few like cinematic, like the comic booky type of cutscenes a few times, but you don't have like a lot of the CGI trailer type of stuff, or not trailers, but CGI stuff throughout the. That I've seen.
That is one thing I liked about Diablo. I do like.
Yeah, that's
Diablo
why I'm saying like story-wise, Diablo like clears it out of the water for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, again, we are comparing an early access game to
a fully put out
game by Bethesda. You know. Blizzard. Yeah. Okay. Look, I said this last time we spoke about this game, but like I saw the skill tree and it absolutely made me poo myself. So is it as bad as it looks or not?
No, absolutely. Like I was intimidated by the skill tree, similar to you. It's why I didn't really play the first game. But going into this one, the skill tree doesn't unlock abilities for you, and I think once you get over that, because you get gemstones that you use to unlock abilities, and then you socket them into you have a whole thing. But that's completely different. The skill tree is basically just a stat sheet. So it doesn't affect how you feel and how you feel when you progress. And so it doesn't. It's intimidating, but once you get into it, it's like, okay, I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do. I'm building my character out to be a fire DPS. I'm going to go look for all the ignite or fire nodes and build out towards those. And it becomes a lot less intimidating once you realize the path you want to take your character on, as opposed to looking at it like I have to fill out that whole tree. You don't have to fill out the whole tree. It's generally easy to like respec and stuff like that. So it's not really that bad.
They did just announce as well that they're making it even easier to respec as well. I think they've dropped the gold requirement for it, which is good. So it'll be a lot easier to do that. I would as well say that the skill tree is basically every skill for every character in one skill tree. So you're not expected to unlock everything. You're expected to look at the skill tree and decide which path you want to take and go from there. But yeah, no, I'm with Crash though. I'm really enjoying it. Dogshit story. Fantastic gameplay.
Matt, you going to play it?
I don't know. I've never really played a Diablo game or any sort of game like that, really, I suppose.
Interesting.
I think you will enjoy the boss fights, Matt.
Interesting.
I don't know about
Why?
the rest of the game. They're just like really, they remind me a lot of Souls bosses to a degree. They get very difficult sometimes. They have mechanics you have to learn. It's just it's very fun boss fights. Like when I say like I enjoyed these boss fights, some of these boss fights, like the overall amount of boss fights, I'd say putting it up even against Shadow of the Erdtree on a totality level, I prefer Path of Exile. I think there's a few boss fights in Shadow of the Erdtree that I prefer over Path of Exile, but I think Path of Exile's bosses are really, really phenomenal.
Interesting. Is it
Very well
like
designed.
meant to be played co-op?
Yes. No, you can play it solo. I've played it solo and you're fine. I think it's designed
same.
mainly around co-op, but you can absolutely play it solo.
Yeah.
Play it with me.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I would
Xbox
start with
3
character
Mondays.
you.
I can't do Mondays.
You can't do any day. Stop pretending you can.
I don't know how many people is it co-op?
Four. So the four of us could play.
Cool. So we just need to find a fourth because Matt can't make it.
Good point.
I'll call Haley.
Cool. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to say if you're wanting to wait, like I know it's going to be a while, but I think once it comes out of early access, it is free to play.
That was going to be my question. Like, what is the plan early access wise? Is this the sort of game that's going to be in early access for the next 5 years, or
They want to have a full release by the end of the year. It's their plan. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll hit
who
1.0 then.
Yeah. What's there is pretty meaty already from what I've got through.
Yeah.
Like I've got through.
They have a lot of the end game in there already as well. They haven't finished the story, and so they decided to focus on end game, get the game to people to like test out the systems and stuff like that and work it before
Makes sense.
fully finishing the story and whatnot.
For adding the juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really enjoying my time with it as well. I want to get back to it soon. Also, plays great on the Steam Deck.
We'll see. We'll see about that. Matt, what have you been playing, if anything?
Yeah, not a whole lot. Just on the commute, back on the grind for Balatro, really. Yeah, and I think that's it.
You spawn?
I have, Balatro as well on that. You'll be happy to know, update, I finished the Mythical Island on TCG Pocket.
Oh, okay.
So-
Well, I think I'm 3 away.
Yeah, I got the full lot, and I'm 4 away from the main pack as well. I think I've got like 4 different cards to get to, and I'm done. And then I can
I don't think I've
uninstall.
opened a pack. I don't think I've opened a pack in like over 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Damn.
I haven't touched it since before Christmas.
That's still
Oh,
good.
I'm
Why?
open
I'm still on
2
it.
packs right now, real quick.
I've been
Oh,
saving
here
all
he
my
Your hourglasses.
time things, my hourglasses. Yeah, I'm saving them all now for whatever the next thing is. You know.
Yeah.
I got a good card in this pack.
So did I.
Ooh. What'd you get? What'd you get? Oh, nice. I can't see yours. Crash. What is it?
It's a
Oh,
story
Celebi.
one. Look.
Hey,
you got the story one.
you got the Celebi, nice.
You.
Other than that, I've been back on my old game is old grind. I'm still playing Metal Gear Solid 5
Love that face.
Why?
because I wanna.
I respect it. I play RP for 8 hours a day. I can't.
Exactly. So, I've had this conversation. I think I've had this conversation on this podcast, but it's very much like I'm just in the mood for Kojima weirdness that isn't a walking simulator.
You know what game from Kojima I really wish, and I don't think they'll be on any of the more recent platforms anytime soon. Metal Gear Solid 4. I absolutely love that game, and I would love to replay it.
I think it will. I think it'll
think
be.
so?
I think they'll do a new master collection and they'll include it. I think it'll be the first time they include it anywhere else.
Well, I think that game would need to get like remade. No,
I'm sure they've got the source code to port it.
I hope it doesn't.
I don't think it's that simple. I think it's because it was made on the PS3. and
it's the cell processor.
The archetype or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way. When there's a rule,
They'll figure it out at some point. They might remake it or something like that at some point or something. Which I don't know how I feel about a remake.
No,
I would love a remake.
I just love the.
We'll see how
I'm at that point in my life. Remake everything.
I'm old enough out there.
Kojima's not involved with it, but we'll see how they do with 2. Because if they do 2 well, then
three.
three. Look, I thought when I didn't play 2, 3, 1, put any of them in that number and they fit.
Yeah, Delta should. I'm optimistic about Delta.
I hope it's good.
Yeah,
I think it will be.
I'm interested to see how it's going to feel because from what I remember, like from what they've announced already, they're using the same voice lines. And then it's just modern tech, isn't it? So no change to the story.
I never beat it anyway, so perfect.
Oh, I did. It's great. It's a great story. One of the best.
Do you think it would need change to the story?
No, I don't. I'm just interested to see what they try and do, if they're going to go for the faithful recreation or if they're going to mess around with it a little bit. And again, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I don't know if I want them to do it at all. Like,
too late, mate. They're doing it.
Yeah,
making the changes.
Story.
Like, I don't know if I want to make any changes to it,
Or
if it's just going to be a shot-for-shot recreation.
I like it.
Should we get into this week's dashboard, boys?
Let's do it.
First story this week, boys. Xbox app is finally headed to LG TVs. I saw Matt P tweet about this. I'm going to kick it straight to him. I don't even need to talk about anything more. Matt, how you feeling?
God, who knows what's going on over there? This should have happened years ago. I'm glad it's happening. I'm glad it's happening. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of the old xCloud, and now I can play it in my bedroom. I can play it in my living room. I'm excited to give it a good old go.
I'm excited.
But yeah, I just can't believe it took this long.
Yeah.
Why now only LG? Right? Sorry?
It's the end of the year as well, right? It's not even no time soon.
Yeah. And why only LG? What is... Still, fine, whatever.
Don't know. Who else is out there? Who else is out there?
LG paid them.
Just Samsung.
It's going to be a money deal.
Samsung, Amazon Fire Sticks, and now the LG.
I'd be surprised if it is a money deal.
I think it's a minimum
both
spec
parties
deal.
are winning. When it's Samsung and it's exclusive to Samsung, I get that being a money deal. But now you've lost the exclusivity. Like I would have thought Xbox are just in the band of we want this in as many places as possible. Put it on your stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how complex or like how specific like hardware is on TVs, on smart TVs. So I wonder if it's a case of like working with LG TVs to make sure that it works as well as possible. Because the last thing you want is to release an app on everything and it be kind of okay on everything.
I was going to say, do you think it could be a quality thing? Like LG make very nice TVs, right? I own that LG TV as well. And do you think it could be a case of like they want it to be on the Samsung TVs, the high spec ones, if I'm not mistaken, and then it's the same thing for these LG ones, right? It's the newer ones. I know my one's like a few years old now, but it's the newer TVs they're still putting it on, right? It's not like any LG TV.
Yes. Yeah, so I think when the Samsung one launched, it was only the 2022 onwards models that it would be included in. Did they backdate it eventually?
Okay. They backdated it to like, I think 2021 or something.
So an extra year.
That's still relatively new, though.
They initially launched it and said, we can only put it in the 2023 ones because there's special hardware in the TVs to make it work. And then they backdated it.
I mean, there's a possibility that at the time that is the only way they could release it.
No, Crash.
Yeah.
No,
I'm just saying.
I did like a corporate apologist.
I'm just saying, there's like a year difference, a year of working on that technology and making sure it can be played on the old TV.
LG
drinking the Kool-Aid
have had
other apps
that work the same way.
Yeah.
They've had other apps that work the same way, right? Like I think GeForce Now you can do through LG TVs. Am I wrong?
Yes, you can. No, you can.
Can you do Amazon Luna as well?
Fucking loads of TVs you can do Luna and GeForce Now on.
Mm-hmm. How many people? Does GeForce really care how well that experience runs? Because that's not GeForce's. Like that's not the future of GeForce in terms of them making money. With Xbox, when they look at the future of Xbox, they are looking at cloud is very big for us. So they want it to be as good of an experience for the user as possible. So that's where I'm looking at this. That's like the only angle I can see. If it's anything other than that, I think it's just a weird decision.
I agree. That's the only angle I can see. I don't think that's it. I think there's something, I don't know what it is, but I can't figure it out. Because like in my head, if you had a cheaper TV and you logged on and tried it and it wasn't a very good experience, I think like for that to turn you off for life in such a way that would be detrimental to Xbox, like the percentage of people that are going to see it that way is so low, I don't think it's worth it to Xbox. Right? I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I also remember the people that are going to be trying it, like you say in those situations, will have had to have picked up an Xbox controller anyway to play. So
no, that's not true. That's not true.
What?
You can connect any controller to the TV. It doesn't have to be an Xbox controller.
You got a Stadia controller, connect that shit.
Any controller.
Yeah, as long as
that's true to use the app.
Yes.
You can play on your Samsung TV with a DualSense through the xCloud app.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yes,
it connects any Bluetooth.
You can do it through. You can literally do it through the VR headset.
No.
Any controller.
Yeah.
It connects to a Bluetooth controller.
Yeah,
it's not an Xbox specific controller.
Agree.
I can tell you, I've used it on one of our TVs. It's any Bluetooth controller.
Yeah, I will also say that I've done it on my phone with a backbone controller. So yeah, it's like any. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. So have I. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hadn't thought about that, but that's cool.
And what am I talking about?
Yeah,
I've done it with a Steam Deck as well. That's not an Xbox
but that's
controller.
kind of my point then. Just get it everywhere. Why is it taking you so long? Like I get if Samsung gave you a bit of a kickback, but the whole thing is you want people on this service, put it on their fucking TVs. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just happy because I have an LG TV, so I'm happy this is finally coming.
Me too. Me too.
Question though,
I actually want a new LG TV, to be honest.
I was going to say, is your Xbox connected to that LG TV there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
Okay.
Really good point.
That's a really good point.
It's a fantastic point.
Do you know what? That might be. You might have just. Yeah. Okay. I respect that. Can't even respond back to that. All right, moving on. There isn't really anything to add to it. Like we went through everything. So yeah. Next story. Story 2. Notch says he has basically announced Minecraft 2. I'll read Notch's entire tweet, but it goes like this. Honest and legitimate request for feedback for once. The new game I'm passionately working on is currently set between a traditional roguelike mixed with a title-based first-person dungeon crawler, i.e. Legend of Grimrock, etc., etc. I don't even know how to say Eye of the Beholder. These are all in brackets, sorry. But then I got to thinking that maybe there are people who like my work but might not share my taste in retro nostalgia and would prefer for me to make a spiritual successor thing to Minecraft. And I'm sure I'd take the cash. So market research, I'd be happy to oblige. I'd be happy to oblige either. Which one would make you happier? And then there's a vote. I voted for Minecraft 2. Why? What's going on here, guys? Like, because I'm confused in many ways, right? I covered this over on my TikTok, and again, I like the Minecraft 2 could be a possibility. But Minecraft 2 cannot be the possibility without Microsoft. So what's going on here?
He's got on record and added more information saying this wouldn't be Minecraft 2. It would be his own thing that would grow on what Minecraft was without, I don't think he used the word infringing, but I'm going to use it here, without infringing on what Minecraft is. So not stepping on the toes of what it is currently, but what it could be. I think it'd be more like story focused and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure where Notch would go with it, but he has an idea for it in his head.
Notch made how much money off of Minecraft?
$2 billion.
I think this all the time. I think this all the time.
Happy.
Who are these people that want to keep working? Why is Taylor Swift still making music? Fuck off into the sun and live your best life.
I don't think it's working for them. Like, I don't think Notch views this as working because he started a bunch of projects and just randomly stopped them because, like, I don't feel like working on it anymore. That's not working. That's him being creative in what he wants to do.
But then this tweet is a huge mistake. This is like the red flag to the bull. Why would you come out on Twitter and go, I'm thinking about doing Minecraft 2? It's not Minecraft. Microsoft. Don't Eye of Sauron over here and look at me. I'm not making Minecraft 2 because legally I'm not allowed to. Mm-hmm. I'm chilling. Don't worry about me. But I also might be making Minecraft 2.
Yeah. Look, okay. Let's strip away all the negatives here. Would you want a Minecraft 2?
Sure.
No,
I don't really care for it. I'm past like being interested in Minecraft in general, so I don't think a Minecraft 2 would do much for me.
Yeah, like Crash. I think I do love I love my time with Minecraft, but I think my time with Minecraft has got past.
I'd love a Minecraft 2. I can't even lie. Minecraft 2 would be crazy.
Yeah.
I would
you
play
add
with
to
you,
Minecraft
Fitz.
2?
I know you would.
I'd help you with all your bases.
Yeah.
I'd charge you diamonds, you know? I'd charge you diamonds to live on my land.
I'd go and steal the diamonds for you and give them back.
And give it back to me, yeah.
I'd plant TNT in your basement and run.
I would kill you and ban you from my server.
I think Minecraft was a certain kind of magic that is nigh on impossible to replicate. Agreed. And probably the harder you try to replicate it, the worse off you're going to be. Like, there was something so weird about it, about like being in beta and early access before that was mainstream. Like having these YouTubers like jump on it and adopt it and turn it into its own thing, and the waves of that happening from like, you know, it's starting with like C-Nanas and old school people like that, and then Tommy in it and all those, like, it was just this beast that I don't think anybody quite understood how it became so successful, and you just got to hold on for dear life and ride it for as long as you can and make as much money off it as long as you can.
Gaming content creation doesn't operate in the same way for it to get the community creation that it did, the original Minecraft did.
Agreed.
Where everything was organic. Like the people who early on started playing Minecraft, they wanted a fun break from making Call of Duty content, and they went into that and had fun, and it felt organic and authentic. You don't get that and get as many eyes as you did back then today.
Too much
like
noise
you can have it
as well.
Yeah, it's too much on to the next thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's just next to impossible for a game like that to have the same type of start. You can, because if we look at like Marvel Rivals blew up. That blew up in a very big way. It was a very big explosion. It wasn't sort of a simmering of certain content creators. It was like, no, that was just a good game. Everybody started playing it. You see it all over your feed. It was like an instantaneous thing, and it'll instantaneously be gone from the public eye, even if it has high player numbers, where that's not what happened with Minecraft. Minecraft was a snowball that just kept growing and growing and growing.
Yeah. My only kind of argument against that, and I'm not sure if I fully kind of believe it or agree with it myself, is GTA and like how the community has kept GTA alive, and whether or not and like GTA 6 isn't going to get hurt by that, right? And so whether or not a Minecraft 2, now if it comes from Notch, it's probably different because he can't call it Minecraft 2. But if it came from Xbox,
you can't call it Minecraft 2, it's over. Simple as.
Yeah. I kind of agree. But if it came from Xbox, maybe a Minecraft 2 does bang and stay and grow.
Nah.
I don't know. Because, like, the thing about, like, Minecraft is for new updates, somebody just has to get on and play Minecraft for a lot of people. Like, I'm sure it still sells well. But, like, if I want to play with you, if I want to play with my little cousin or whatever, it's like, buy it on an iPad, I load it in with him, cool, whatever. But for Minecraft 2, you're reselling that. You're selling that game, not reselling it, but you're selling it to everyone all over again without the install base, without the connections of like, this is who you're going to play with. Here's like the cool YouTube stuff that people are doing. Like, this is how you build this type of house and all this stuff. You're missing just so much of that part, like that part of it, that I don't know if that would work with it. And even when you're looking at GTA, RP is a different thing from like the base game, right?
No, but GTA Online is still huge.
GTA Online 100% is still huge. Yeah, I guess that is something that you could look at for sure, but I don't know. I don't know if I like that comparison.
I think if it doesn't work, you kill your golden goose if it doesn't work.
Yeah,
because if you launch Minecraft 2, there's nobody going, oh, yeah, well, I'm just going to stay on Minecraft. Like, I think you kill Minecraft by launching Minecraft 2. It's just whether or not you can make Minecraft 2 bigger.
Yeah, it's the fracturing of the player base, isn't it? It's like half will maybe switch. We'll go to Minecraft 2 and go, oh, well, Minecraft 2 is not that great. Do I go back to Minecraft 1 or just go find something else?
Find something else indeed, Despawn. We're going to skip the next two stories, boys. Crash, let's talk guess that game. Last year, there was points. I would like to run through this for last year. We have myself, Matt, who came last with 5 points.
I want to recount.
We have don't need to.
1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Yeah, there we go.
Well done, thank you. Next, you had myself on 7 points. Despawn somehow on 10 points. And Crash was on 14 points, being our 2024 Guess That Game winner. Congratulations. We still need to send send an address to get this trophy sent to you, but I will sort it out. I promise. I'm just figuring it out. Crash, you've got ideas. You've got thoughts.
I've thought a little bit about Guess That Game because we had talked about wanting to do new rules for it. And so my thought is every Guess That Game worth 3 points in total. 1 point just for guessing the game. Another point for guessing if it's available, for guessing if it's a sequel, like which game is it? Is it so if it's Assassin's Creed, is it Assassin's Creed 3, 2, or 1? You get a bonus point for that. If that isn't available, then the extra bonus point will go into the last available thing, which is a short trivia question, which is either a trivia question for the game or like your connection to the game or something like that. So let's say it's Warframe. I had done a Warframe one. It would be like, what is the Warframe is a spiritual successor to which game? And if you didn't know, it is Dark Sector. That would have been the answer. And so that's my idea with Guess That Game going into the new year. Thoughts?
I have a question.
Yes.
Obviously, we have to. So let's say it's Assassin's Creed 4, right?
Yep.
I guess Assassin's Creed. I get my point.
Yep.
Do we then say,
nope,
right,
you do it
and now
that.
Guess? Sorry?
No. You guessed like Assassin's Creed 4 in your, like you guess whichever Assassin's Creed you think it is in the original one. Not like it's Assassin's Creed and then you guess the entrance.
Fine. So I'm going in, I'm locking in. The answer is Assassin's Creed 4, but I'm locking in Assassin's Creed 3 because I don't know the answer to Assassin's Creed 4.
You'll get a point. Even if it's the
I get 1
Assassin's
point.
Creed.
Do I then get a shot at the trivia question, or because I didn't get
everybody gets a shot. At the end of it, everybody gets a shot at the trivia question.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm on board. Let's do it.
Fix doesn't look on board.
What's up, Fix?
I'm not on board. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking.
Also, Fix, very quickly, a little inside baseball for the clip outs. If we want to TikTok it, then the trivia just becomes its own thing.
That's part of where I thought about it, was that exact idea. Is there's a whole different,
because then it just starts with Crash going, in Assassin's Creed 3, who is your protagonist's best friend? And then, that's the beginning of the TikTok, and then we're in.
Sounds like you're just making more work for me, because I know you're not going to edit this.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on.
Oh, you know what? For Guess That Game, I'll do the editing.
You're doing the editing?
Whoa.
I'll do the editing for Guess That Game.
Whoa.
As long as we can work out a format that I can understand and do, I will do the editing for Guess That Game.
Love it.
Look, I'm open to trying it for the month.
We can try
of January.
it. We'll see.
Why not? Let's try it for the month of January. Each of us will take one, and if it becomes too overcomplicated and doesn't work, then we'll figure it out after that. How does that sound?
I like it.
Okay. All right, Crash. Well, give us the rigmarole.
All right. Guess That Game is a game where we take 1 minute and 30 seconds, and you boys will ask me yes or no questions. I will respond with yes or no, the only two options. Sometimes I might add a little bit more information. And at the end of the 1:30, you guys make an educated guess on what game I am referring to. Are you boys ready?
Yes.
Sure.
Let me just open up my timer.
And of course, we are starting the brand new 2025 season. Everybody is back on 0 points.
0 points.
0 points.
Did we ever come to a conclusion on whether or not, if Crash fools all of us, he gets a point as the host this week?
Look, I like that because I like that personally, but we've got to be fair with it and don't start coming out with some dumb crap. Like, remember the game has to be on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that, Matt.
You're acting like I've misled you before.
I like the idea of if you don't get it, you get a point.
Yeah.
We can work. For the month of January, we'll try all of it.
Yeah, we'll try. I'd say
we'll see how that works.
We've like whenever we've had one where someone's been stumped or where everyone's been stumped and we give the answer, everyone's like, "Oh no, that makes sense." If it doesn't make sense, we null and void it.
Then we don't give them the point. That's fine.
But if it makes sense and it's fair. Not, if it's not like a bullshit.
Like when I misunderstand something, can be like, "Oh yeah, they're humans," and they're clearly aliens. Yeah. We've been there before. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Are you boys ready? We're gonna go Fix, Despawn, Matt for questions.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do this.
Go.
Did it launch on the Xbox Series console?
No.
Was it exclusive to Xbox?
Yes.
Did it launch on the Xbox One generation of consoles?
Yes.
Is it a racing game?
No.
Was it an RPG?
Nope.
Do you shoot guns in the game?
At some point, you may shoot guns, but I would not identify it as a shooting guns game.
Do you play as a customized character?
Nope.
Is it a 3D platformer?
Nope.
Is it a first-person game?
Nope.
Is it a third-person game?
Nope.
Oh, is it 2D side-scroller?
Yep.
Okay.
Is it a roguelite?
Nope.
Is there a bunch of different games in this game?
No.
Is it part of a franchise?
Yes.
Is it... Fuck. Does any media for this exist outside of games? Is there a TV show, movie, book, something?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I do not believe so. This is the last question, Fix, and then...
Okay.
I feel like we're nowhere close.
Did this game get a sequel?
It's part of a franchise. Did this game get a sequel? No, it didn't.
But it's part of a franchise.
So this game didn't get... So that would mean it's the... you don't have to yes or no this, but I'm just speaking out of that would say it's the last in the series. Okay. So
an exclusive side-scroller launched on the Xbox One generation.
Yep.
You don't play as a customized character. You play as an already made character.
It's not a roguelite.
It's the exclusive side scroll. There's only. You know, I can think.
No, because you definitely should
I've got one. I've got one, but I've got one.
You guys all have a guess?
I do.
I'm going to give you guys another 30 seconds to think of a guess, and then I'm going to call it in.
I got a guess.
I don't.
You got a guess, Despawn?
I have nothing. So yeah, I'm null and void on this one. I generally don't have anything.
It's the shooting that worries me a little.
Don't. Yeah. I specifically said don't think about the shooting. Don't think about it. There is shooting sometimes, but don't think about it. Really don't think about it.
Whose guess is it?
I'm gonna, because Despawn has nothing. I'm gonna have. You're not putting any guess in.
No, I can't think of a single 2D side scroller.
One of the year.
I know. I can't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fix.
Oh, game is old.
Do you have yours written down, Matt?
I have mine written down.
Okay, I don't. So
you can just say yours. Yeah. Go for it.
Battletoads.
Matt.
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Nah, it's got a sequel.
Yeah, it's unfortunately Battletoads.
Yeah.
No. Battletoads cartoon.
Also, Battletoads had a sequel.
I said I don't believe so. I don't. Did Battletoads actually have a cartoon?
Yeah,
I
had a sequel.
The Battletoads. No,
he didn't. This game didn't get a sequel. The one he's talking about didn't get a sequel.
Specifically the one I talked about did not get a sequel. I said that it's part of a franchise.
Yeah,
this game did not get a sequel.
No, I'm with you, Crash. I'm with you.
Yeah, all right.
I'm with you 100%, my friend. 100%.
So that's 2 points to Fix.
Trivia question. There's no bonus point for the sequel, right? Because
I'm going to say there's no bonus point for this.
Cool, I'm just checking.
The trivia is going to be worth 2 points.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, because there is no, the only game that was available on Xbox was this one, so I'm not counting, you can't get 2 points on that possibly anyway.
Sure.
So, the trivia question is, which crossover game did Battletoads have that had a large impact on me?
I know.
I think I know as well, but I have to write that.
I want you all to write down your answers because everybody has a chance at this.
Okay. I've got an answer. I'm not confident it's right.
I know that I 100. If this is not the answer, I'm going to be surprised because I know this had a crossover.
Also, while everybody's thinking and writing stuff down, I just want to point your attention to the IMDb page for Battletoads, the 1992 one-off short, 21 minute long.
To be fair, specific, I said I do not know. I said I do not know. I do not believe. So to be fair,
I feel it.
I think you're okay on the one-shot pilot episode that never came out in England. You know, like. All right.
You all have your guesses. We'll start with Matt. What's your guess, Matt?
It's almost definitely wrong, but it is Smite.
Battletoads never had a crossover with Smite, so unfortunately that is incorrect.
At least it was a. Let's not do the phones because from a content point of view, the phones look dumb.
You can
just say it. We just have to prove it with the phones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a game that made an impact on you. That's why I went Smite. You know, what are you gonna do?
That's fair. Despawn.
If this is not the answer, I'm shocked because I know I played this character recently. It is Killer Instinct.
I put Killer Instinct.
Okay. Wow, nobody gets the bonus points. It is not Killer Instinct.
Oh, wow.
It is Double Dragon.
What?
Yes, Battletoads and Double Dragon had a crossover, and whenever I talk about my love for Battletoads, it's specifically the Battletoads Double Dragon crossover game.
Nice.
Okay. Because they were in Killer Instinct as well.
Yes, I know. I love the character in Killer Instinct.
I almost went for like the TMNT
No.
games. I thought there'd be like a crossover there maybe, but then I was like, is Crash into TMNT? I don't think so. Like,
I think
I am, but I would have never played those games. I didn't play a TMNT like side scroller beat 'em up game until the most recent one. So
I love them. The arcade is one of the best.
Blind ranking is what we would usually do next, but we have had no blind rankings in the Discord yet. There is a new section in the Discord. If you've not joined the My Xbox and Me Discord, go and join it. There is a new section in there. Crash is going to write out I
have it written out there.
Don't know.
I have it written out.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, cool. So there is a template in there for how to do it. So you need to follow what Chris has put, and then you want to mark them as spoilers. So that way we can look at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, title at the bottom, and then I can reveal each of them, right?
I like
For anybody, I'll edit it and add a bit for how to spoiler it in case you don't know on mobile.
Perfect.
You do, what are the straight lines called?
Straight line.
You do the 2 straight lines on one side and 2 straight lines on the other, and it spoilers the text.
Okay. Perfect.
Nice.
All right, cool. Before we get out of bed, let's get into Fix a Sack. We got some questions from the audience. Top Lift 91 says, do you guys think Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League could have survived had it been released as a free-to-play? Or do you think the writing was on the wall for the game was inevitable ever since its first gameplay reveal? Matt, I'll get to you first. What do you think?
I think it would have been better received if it had been free to play. I don't think it would have. Maybe it would have survived, but I don't think so. Because I don't think it would have made more money had it been free to play. I think like people who are buying a DC licensed tie-in game are buying a DC licensed tie-in game. I don't think like those people are spending money in a free to play gaming zone.
There is. I don't know if they had a MOBA at one point. I don't know if that's still being made, so I'm not going to say that. But they do have their MMO and stuff like that are free to play that they have made money from.
Specifically because of the genre of game that it is. Like Marvel Rivals, you could say the same thing, but because of the genre of game that Marvel Rivals is, you want to buy skins and stuff. Whereas like a single player, even if it was co-op, right? Like there's no reason to buy cosmetics. I don't think in that world, and I don't think, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. I get exactly what you said. I agree with you. I think the interesting thing is ever since the first gameplay reveal, I don't think the gameplay reveal was the problem. I actually quite liked it when we first saw it. I thought it looked interesting, intriguing. I was like, oh, this seems cool. The thing was, it was too bloated. Like those type of games cost too much to make, and DC just didn't have the heart in it, and it wasn't a good game.
Yeah, I think conceptually, like having like the way the shooting combos work in that and all that stuff is very interesting conceptually. But when you get down to really playing it, you're playing basically a shooter with very minimal abilities. All the characters aren't as unique as you'd like them to be in terms of interacting with enemies. They had unique movement options, which was their big thing. And I think ultimately, like, that game, no matter what, wouldn't have survived off that basis.
I think if you'd made it a Captain Boomerang game where you only play as Captain Boomerang, but the Suicide Squad are there, like you're part of that team, and it's a real story-driven, tight 8-hour, and we build that world a little more for that character and his traversal specifically, and it's like Sunset Overdrive, I'm in.
I don't know about Captain Boomerang.
I think if you take this exact game as a co-op with the different playable characters and take out the looter aspect of it and make it that tight,
that's what I mean.
Story campaign, I think that would be fine. Because I do think the looter aspect just kind of ruined what that game was, where it's like you want to have stuff replayable, and that you have to have the characters feel fresh for very, very long periods of time, which this game just wouldn't have done. Because I think we all had, like, when we first started playing with the movements and stuff for the characters we were playing, it was fun enough, but then by the time you get to the end of that 2 or 3 hours, that first time we played, it was like, I think I've had enough of playing this game.
Even after a bad, we were done, to be honest. Huh?
What did you play?
I think I played Captain Boomerang.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Boomerang was my favorite.
We just didn't love it. I remember us playing it and being like, we did the Batman mission. Was like, oh, this mission's pretty cool. And then that was about
best mission in the game. Like very, very fun. I think that mission's very good.
The problem is, it's right at the start of the game.
No, absolutely. I agree.
I think the big issue with that game, and it's got nothing to do with it whether it being free to play or what. It's not what anyone wanted from Rocksteady. It's just not like I didn't put my hands up and like, you know what, I'd really like Rocksteady to do? I'd really like them to make a co-op shooter.
I'm going to disagree with
that. Not the same Rocksteady though.
I know.
Yeah, I'm also going to disagree with that, because I don't think people wanting or not wanting something from a developer is necessarily relevant as long as the product that comes is good. I don't think Suicide Squad, the game, is good.
No, it isn't. And I think I read reports of like bad, like not bad, like workplace environments, just like a bad production cycle. I think there's lots of changes, like not a lot of good direction in the game. So I just don't think that helped at all. I think we've seen from the games that actually make it, like they've got a unified voice and a unified direction, and I just don't think, I don't think Kill the Justice League had that.
Fair enough. Yep. Eldozo says, on the assumption that all 2025 releasing games actually release in 2025, which game or games are you most looking forward to, and more importantly, why? Follow-on question from that: out of all the games that are due to release, which one do you think ends up being pushed back, and which ones would you be comfortable with pushing back? I'm going to say for this conversation, let's just exclude GTA, because I think otherwise it's going to be a boring conversation.
Okay.
Well, the only thing I was going to say about GTA is, and this is specific to us who work in the industry, are you guys dreading GTA a little bit? Because I am.
What do you mean? In what regard?
Like, it is just going to be full on. Like, if you aren't maximizing this period of time in gaming to grow, to work, and get the content out, you're really missing out, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot busy work.
It's scary. It's scary, but I think for me, it's that opportunity, right? I think it's knowing that there's an opportunity there to be. GTA 6 can change your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's exciting for me, especially as someone who's been involved in the GTA community now for many, many years, right? Like, yes, I am dreading it a little bit, but it depends on how quickly online comes out. If online's day and date, then no, I'm not dreading it. Because I think if I can get my friends that I play GTA roleplay with, and I can get them to have the grinder mindset of 8 hours a day, 7 days a week on GTA 6, and then we create something really cool, my life could change. So that I'm not dreading. The hard work I'm not dreading. But if it is just a case of single player and then, all right, now we've got to go and find all the submarine parts, and now we have to go and whatever the case may be, that I'm dreading, yes.
Yeah, I think I'm interested to see who breaks through the noise of it all. Like, there's going to be like it's the biggest game of this generation, right, at this point that's coming, is like there's going to be a lot of people, not just the established creators, but new creators trying to get on the hype train as well.
Oh, of course.
The people that are big in 2026, you have never heard of them right now. The people who are big on GTA 6, you've never heard of them right now. I guarantee that.
No.
Yeah.
I think it depends how it plays out.
Yeah.
I think with the way content creation is now, there's a possibility that when you go into 2026 with GTA 6 and the voices you hear don't change that much. I think with the landscape of where content creation is and will go, there's a possibility that there won't be that big of a shift on the the top of the top. I think you might have shifting of like the bottom to the middle and people like starting to make a name for themselves. I don't think you'll have that big of a change on who the biggest person is unless the content creation sphere on who's on the top is generally in a changing trajectory at that point, regardless of GTA 6.
Yeah, I get you. I do get what you're saying. I think online has the potential to be something so special, but it's finding 5 friends that are going to understand the moment. This is our next version of Fortnite, right? It is go to work your day job, and then get your fucking ass home as quickly as humanly possibly, stuff your face with food, and let's make content.
Yeah.
One thing to say, we don't have GTA 6 online confirmed yet, no?
No, we don't. But we know it's
like, I'm gonna say,
whether or not, even if they ended up doing GTA 6 online and it's on the new whatever, it's an expansion, that's still going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Ever. So outside of that though, exactly. And I think that's the big thing, Matt. Right? Like the Sidemen started because of GTA 5. Mad, and now a multi-million dollar company with vodka and food and ball games and everything else under the goddamn sun. So mad, just mad. Another game though, Crash. What is something that you're looking forward to and why?
My mind automatically goes to Fable.
Me too.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think just seeing how that game turns out, and I think I'd be happy with that even if it's just a good game and it's not an amazing game. Because I do want to go back to the Fable universe. Of course, I hope that it will be amazing, both for Xbox's sake, and I just want to play an amazing game, right? I think that my mind goes there. I think Avowed as well. I'm looking forward to how that ends up being, which we'll see where I end up standing on that. But
yeah, see, Avowed is mine. Like, I think I'm more excited for Avowed at this moment because I just want a really good Western RPG I can sink some time into, and all of the previews that I've seen and heard about so far are exactly what I want from that game.
Fair enough.
Although, Fable.
Yeah, I think it's Fable for me because I think it's the most unknown. Like, I think I have a pretty good idea of what Avowed is going to be. Whereas Fable, I'm kind of like, what is Playground, the people who make Forza, pivoting to an open world RPG fantasy look like? What does the reinvention of this franchise that existed before look like in 2025? And so I think that's why I'm more excited for it than Avowed, which we've seen a lot of. It's out in the first quarter of this year. We have a really good idea of what Avowed is going to be, I think. And while I'm excited for it, I think not knowing enough about Fable has actually made me more excited. Do I actually think Fable is going to come out this year? Who knows? But the question was, assuming everything is coming out this year that is due to come out this year, then I think the answer is Fable for me.
Yeah, Fable for me as well. I'm just scared it's not going to be what I want it to be. Is the biggest worry.
What do you want it to be? What does that mean?
I really want it to be co-op, and I don't think it's going to be.
Interesting.
Fable. Me and Haley played through the Fable series together.
Yeah.
And it was such a magical moment of us playing it together that I have from what they've shown and everything we've seen, and it feels like it's a single player focused game. And I understand and I get it, and I'm not upset by that, but I really do want it to be co-op.
Which Fables did you play co-op?
2 and 3, the co-op
right,
ones.
2 and 3, yeah. Well, no, I wondered if it was only 2 or only 3.
No, play both of them.
Because I went back and played 2 like last year for a little bit with Emma and was like, this sucks. The co-op experience this isn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of time, unfortunately, boys. So let's plug and get ourselves out of here. Despawn, You go first, my friend.
I'm going to plug the Discord as always every week. Come hang out in the Discord, give us your blind rankings, and yeah, come hang out with the community.
Okie dokie. Crash, we plugging this week, bud?
Leave your thoughts and opinions on the change to Guess That Game and how you guys feel about it and how you guys enjoyed it this week. And any other changes you guys might want to see for that and any other games we do play on the show in the future in the critique section. And in general, just leaving critiques for the podcast and ways we can improve things.
Matt?
Yeah, I ain't got much. 2025, innit? New year. We're planning big things, and we're hopefully going to deliver on all the things that we said we were going to do last year and all those things. And so, yeah, like, we're excited to be doing this still in 2025. Hope you're excited too. Join the Discord, interact with each other, love each other, be good to each other. I love you.
One quick one, podcast reviews. We do have a brand new podcast review, so I'll do it very fast. It's the title of it is What the He Double Something. I can't see the last word on it, unfortunately. December 28th from Little Smee. This podcast used to be amazing until Crash threw shade at Super Monkey Ball. 5 stars.
Absolutely.
Respect it. I respect it.
We have a new podcast review over here as well. The title is Crash is the Best USA USA. The reviews from December.
Is it from Crash?
What?
Is it from Crash?
No, it's not. It's not by me.
Okay.
It is 5 stars, and it's from Not Sam K. Thank you for the title, Not Sam K. I love the title. The rest of the message, not so much. Funny and mostly informative video games podcast. Matt always has the best takes.
Oh.
So,
What? That's crazy. That's a horrible take.
I'm going to say that American education system is lacking a little, isn't it?
You ain't winning any fans over
this is horrible because I either agree as Matt or I disagree. I'm going to lose there.
Okay, look, I'm going to let it go because we ain't got time. But yeah, all right, whatever. Appreciate the reviews. Make sure you leave a podcast review in 2025. Until next time, I've been MC Fixer. He's been Crash. He's been Matt. He's been Paul. We love you, leave you, and see you all later. Good boys.